Deep within the far reaches of China lies a world that feels like a glitch in reality. A place where mountains move in the mist and ancient legends breathe in every shadow. Have you ever wondered what remains of the Earth's most silent places, where oxygen is a luxury and silence is the only language spoken? We are diving into a realm of forbidden valleys, mystical craters, and stone forests that look like petrified giants. This is more than a tour. It's a deep dive into the enigmatic soul of the East, a journey crafted for those who crave the thrill of true discovery. I'd love to have you on board for this and all our future expeditions, so feel free to subscribe and join our crew. Take a deep breath and let the mystery unfold. The journey into the unknown starts right here, right now. The village of Yubeng. Picture a sanctuary where time itself simply surrendered. Tucked away in the heart of the Meili Snow Mountains, at an elevation of 3,000 meters, Yubeng Village remains a well-guarded secret. Here, silence is the master of the house. No engines roar and no tires tread. To reach this place, you must wear down the soles of your boots or trust the steady gait of a mule along trails that seem to defy the laws of gravity. This pristine wilderness is a rare treasure. During the winter months, ice embraces the wooden rooftops, transforming the landscape into a cinematic scene where the soft thud of falling snow is the only melody. The local people revere every tree and stone as divine, believing their ancestors still wander these paths. It is truly hallowed ground. Many travelers swear that upon closing their eyes to sleep, they feel a chilling and profound energy. In this isolation, the soul finally finds its peace. They say that dreams here are visions from another realm. As if the mountain itself is whispering an ancient chronicle to you. Preserving the seclusion of Yubeng is the only way to keep the spiritual heart and the purity of our planet beating. The island of Tashi Dor. Now, close your eyes and try to touch the heavens. On Tashi Dor Island, sitting at an altitude of over 4,700 meters, the blue of the firmament is so vivid it feels as though you could dive right into it. The air is biting and crystalline. Beside it lies a saltwater lake, one of the highest on the planet, so transparent that its depths are revealed even 18 meters below the surface. These clear waters hold hidden secrets. The weather is unpredictable. When the sun dips below the horizon, the world turns to molten gold. And the sound of waves crashing against the rocks echoes like a choir of monks chanting in the dark. Mystery dwells in every detail. This is a place where nature proves beyond doubt that she is the one in command. The grandeur of Tashi Dor teaches us our own insignificance in the face of nature's magnificent power. Lake Quona. Lake Quona is not merely a coordinate on a map. It is a gateway where time appears to have lost its race. Imagine trekking through a landscape where the ground creaks and the air is so thin that every breath feels like a costly luxury. Breathing here is a genuine miracle. Located within Amdo County, this azure giant hides in a region where nature dictates every rule. At an altitude that challenges any human being, reaching nearly 4,800 meters, it watches over everything like a silent sentry. Such heights leave us utterly speechless. For the Tibetan people, these waters hold a truth that science cannot grasp. In the ancient Bon religion, Quona is the lake of the soul, a direct bridge to the spiritual essence of Buddha. Faith can move mountains of ice. This is not just geography. It is sacred soil where every wave seems to whisper an ancestral prayer. Beside it, the small Ganong Lake rests like a faithful bodyguard. Silence speaks louder than 1,000 voices here. Numbers attempt to quantify this brilliance, but the eyes struggle to believe it. It spans 400 square kilometers of water so clear you can see the bottom as if gazing into a mirror. In the depths of winter, the cold drops to 20 degrees Celsius below zero. The ice becomes a formidable suit of armor. Even in this soul-freezing chill, life insists on blooming in a place that refuses to be tamed. To preserve the sacred is the only way to understand what time has failed to erase. The Zonda Earth Forest. Now imagine an army of giants crafted from clay and stone. The Zonda Earth Forest is among the most surreal and breathtaking locations on the entire Tibetan plateau. Thousands of natural pillars and jagged cliffs have been sculpted by the wind over millions of years. The wind is a patient artist. These columns rise for hundreds of meters, resembling the castles or temples of a lost civilization buried by the dust of ages. Nature's architecture remains undefeated. There are no trees and no sounds of wildlife, only a void so deep it rings in the ears. The local people claim this land is the home of ancient spirits who protect the world. We feel invisible presences in every corner. Many travelers remark that within this absolute silence, one can hear the heartbeat of the earth itself. The universe breathes very slowly here. There are legends of souls who wandered lost among the earthen pillars, only to be guided back to the righteous path by a hand that no one could see. Magic lives in the hidden details. This blend of bizarre rock formations and tales of gods transforms a visit into something that changes a person from within. It is a destination that makes one feel both tiny and colossal at the same time. The strength of the earth reveals that we are never truly alone in the desert. The connection between the soul and nature creates a peace that no map can ever explain. The hidden glacier of Yulong. Imagine climbing a staircase built of clouds and ice that never melts. The hidden glacier of the Yulong Snow Mountain is situated where oxygen is so scarce that every heartbeat sounds like a drum echoing in your chest. Life here is a relentless challenge. Located at more than 5,500 meters above sea level, this massive wall of ice glitters like polished glass when the sun emerges. The brilliance is enough to blind the eyes. All around, you will see no buildings or roads, only terrifying precipices and forests that seem plucked from a frozen dream. The silence is so heavy, you can hear the ice melting drop by drop between the rocks. Nature moves at her own slow rhythm. Walking along the ancient trails, you will stumble upon small stone pillars left by those who passed this way hundreds of years ago. Time has stood still on these rocks. They were travelers seeking protection from the gods while crossing this snowy desert. But the true mystery surfaces when the moon is full. Locals tell of a nomad who swore he saw a white figure walking across the ice after a storm. The figure vanished into the mist without leaving a single footprint. No one knows if it was a spirit or merely the wind playing tricks. The invisible inspires a respectful fear in us. This legend remains alive, making anyone look over their shoulder as they walk. Respecting the mysteries of the past is the only way to preserve the sacred soul of these mountains. Mount enigmatic. Imagine standing on the roof of the world, where the air is pure and the silence seems to scream ancient secrets. On the edges of the great Tibetan plateau, hidden among the clouds of Qinghai province, rises a frozen giant named enigmatic. The name says it all. The mountain covered in snow. It is more than just stone and ice. It guards the birthplace of the Yellow River, the vein that sustains entire nations. Places like this remind us of how small we really are. This immense mountain range displays three majestic peaks that look like blades slicing through the blue sky. The highest of them, Machen Kangri, soars to 6,282 meters. Interestingly, 100 years ago, many explorers swore it was the tallest mountain on the planet, even surpassing Everest. Science evolved and we discovered that was not quite the case, but its presence still intimidates anyone who nears it. It is a beauty that both terrifies and enchants. Since the base of this region sits at 4,000 meters, the peak stands 2,000 meters above everything surrounding it. It is a powerful and enigmatic vision, a true guardian of ice watching the passage of time while the rest of the world rushes by below. To respect nature is our duty. The magnitude of this mountain reminds us that there are forces far greater than our daily troubles. The Cave of the Yeren. The Cave of the Yeren is no ordinary hole in the earth. It is the epicenter of chilling stories about a creature that appears human, but is not. Mystery pursues us here. Researchers have found massive footprints, 40 centimeters long, carved into the ground. That is twice the size of a normal foot. Inside the cave, ancient limestone has formed shapes that resemble screaming faces and enormous hands reaching out from the walls. It is breathtaking. When the sun hits at just the right angle, a tall shadow appears out of nowhere, as if something is monitoring your every step. Those who enter feel a weight on their chest, as if 1,000 eyes are watching from the darkness. Fear is a very real warning. Radios and cell phones simply stop working at specific points without any logical explanation. At night, Deep growls echo through the crevices, yet no one has ever found the beast responsible for the sound. The unknown lies next door. It is a place where science hits the wall of the impossible, and the silence hides secrets that perhaps should never be revealed to us. Respect for the unknown is what keeps us safe in the face of forces we do not understand. Baimang Snow Mountain. The Baimang Snow Mountain seems to touch the very ceiling of the world. Its peaks rise from 5,500 to over 6,400 meters. The air is pure and freezing. Below, dense forests merge with pastures where only the hardiest plants can survive the extreme cold. Life is a constant struggle. Along the trails, you will find stone walls inscribed with prayers by people who have lived here for generations. They believe the mountain is a god protecting the land. Faith illuminates the path. There is a legend that on nights of a blue moon, a white figure appears standing on the highest peak. They say it is an ancient monk who turned into frozen light after meditating for hundreds of years. Some climbers swear they felt a strange warmth emanating from the snow at that exact spot, even when everything else was frozen solid. The impossible happens right there. This story of mystery is in the blood of the local people and transforms the ascent into a profound spiritual journey. Devotion transforms harsh landscapes into sanctuaries of peace that defy the laws of nature itself. Zhuebao Mountain. Imagine a frozen giant that never removes its white coat, no matter how brightly the sun shines. Zhuebao Mountain rises to 5,610 meters, right where the sky seems to kiss the earth. Nature is a patient artist. On clear days, the ice glitters so intensely you would swear you were looking at a sea of precious crystals. But do not be deceived by the beauty. For the rock walls are so steep and treacherous that even the bravest climbers feel their legs tremble. Danger conceals unique beauties. Sometimes clouds cling to the slope, creating a bridge that seems to lead directly to paradise. In this frozen kingdom, animals and plants live that can be found nowhere else on Earth. Serving as a living laboratory that challenges extreme cold. The summit was only conquered in 1986, proving that human beings are stubborn when they wish to overcome a challenge. It is a place that teaches us the top is for the few, but the view is for all who dare to dream high. The preservation of these peaks ensures the balance of ecosystems that we do not yet fully comprehend. Tianqi Crater. Now visualize a perfect hole at the top of an ancient volcano, as if someone had dug a well for the gods to drink from. The Tianqi Crater sits at an altitude of 2,200 meters and is surrounded by sharp rocks that look like knives pointed toward the infinite blue. Mystery attracts curious gazes. The water here is a chameleon, one moment a deep blue, and the next a perfect mirror. At 300 meters deep, the bottom of this lake is almost uncharted territory, holding secrets thousands of years old. Many people swear they have seen dark shapes swimming far below, fueling stories of monsters that no one has ever caught. The unknown always fascinates us. Occasionally, clouds swirl over the water, as if opening a portal to another dimension. This place was born from a colossal volcanic explosion, and today is the perfect meeting point between the fire that passed and the ice that remained. It is living proof that the Earth has scars that are true works of art. Understanding the volcanic forces of the past helps us predict and respect the future of our planet. Mount Minya Konka. There is a frozen giant in the east that many call the secret Everest. Mount Minya Konka rises to 7,556 meters and looks like a painting by the gods. Nature loves to show off. Up there, the air is so thin that time seems to stop, and the cold cuts like a knife. Hidden in the cliffs are caves of blue crystal that glow as if made of glass from another planet. The silence is deep and haunting. Many have tried to reach the summit only to turn back because mist rises out of nowhere like a ghost. The strangest thing is that near the peak, GPS devices go haywire due to mysterious magnetic fields. Technology fails before natural power. The old residents swear the mountain only reveals its full self to those with a clean heart. It is a place that holds secrets our minds can barely grasp. If you look closely, you will see that the earth has its own life and does not like to be disturbed by strangers. The preservation of these peaks ensures the balance of ecosystems that we do not yet fully comprehend. Jiaosu Ice Valley. Imagine walking through a place where the ice is not white, but a brilliant, deep blue. In the Jiaosu Ice Valley, something happens that looks like magic, but is pure pressure from nature on ancient snow. Blue ice is a rare jewel. During the winter, the valley becomes a movie set with giant blocks that look like crystal blades or the towers of a forgotten castle. When the sun rises or sets, everything glows in shades of purple and orange. And you feel as if you have left the earth for a moment. Light dances upon the cold. Some of these blocks never melt even in the summer. And scientists use the site to study what life might be like on distant icy planets. It is a natural laboratory under the open sky. The path is difficult and the climate is harsh, but the sight of a world made of blue glass makes any effort worthwhile. It is proof that beauty survives even in the most terrifying cold that exists. Understanding the forces of ice in the past helps us predict and respect the future of our planet. The Nyingchi Forest. Imagine a place where time seems to have forgotten to pass. In the heart of Tibet, over 3,000 meters high, there is a green sea that defies the aridity of the mountains. This is the Nyingchi Forest, a sanctuary of trees so ancient they hold secrets from bygone eras. Their trunks are so immense that 3 adults, with arms outstretched, cannot encircle a single tree. Nature here is a capricious artist. In winter, the white of the snow dominates everything, but soon the flowers awaken in spring, and summer brings an intensely glowing green. When autumn arrives, the forest dresses in gold and fire. In the morning, a dense fog embraces the pines, creating a scene of absolute mystery. The The silence is broken only by the whisper of the wind in the leaves, a sound that soothes the soul of anyone seeking peace. It is a piece of sacred land where life pulses free from any human interference. Nature survives where no one else can. The balance between life and ice is a miracle we must always respect. The Baishuitai Terraces in the highlands at an altitude of 2,377 meters, water has performed a work of art that seems out of this world. The Baishuitai Terraces are cascades of brilliant white stone that shimmer under the sun. This phenomenon took hundreds of thousands of years to build, drop by drop, through mineral deposits from natural springs. It is a living monument to the patience of the earth and the invisible force of water. Water carves what time makes eternal. Geological patience teaches us that the greatest beauties take ages to bloom. The goddess Jemu Mountain. On the horizon of the Great Plateau, a giant silhouette catches the eye of any observant traveler. The goddess Jemu Mountain is not just a mound of earth and rock. It has the perfect shape of a woman resting on the ground. Legend has it that a hidden crack in the stone guards a living secret. Locals tell, with a twinkle in their eyes, that this rare plant is the heart of a man who transformed himself into an eternal gift for the goddess. For those watching from afar, the mountain seems to breathe as the sun sets, changing color and shape as the shadows grow. It is a place where the line between what is stone and what is spirit is completely erased. The cliffs of Gonga. Imagine a vertical wall that seems to touch the roof of the world. We are talking about the south face of Gonga, a frozen giant standing 7,556 meters tall. Its slopes are so severe, reaching 70 degrees, that looking up can make you dizzy. For a long time, the world's leading experts claimed it was impossible to climb. The weather shifts in seconds, and snowstorms can swallow an entire group without warning. It is a wall of ice that separates the curious from the true survivors. Every centimeter conquered, there is a victory against the brute force of gravity. The mountain demands absolute respect from everyone. The human limit is tested by the fury of the ice. The Ruurgai Marsh. There is a place at over 3,300 meters of altitude where the earth seems alive beneath your feet. The Ruargai Marsh is a labyrinth of colors that change as the year passes, ranging from moss green to the purest gold. The earth pulses like a heart. Walking there, you feel a slight tremor, as if stepping on the back of a giant sleeping creature. But beware, for beauty hides traps. Under the fluffy moss lie deep mud pits capable of swallowing an adult man in seconds. Danger lurks with every step. Viewed from above, the scenery becomes an abstract painting with rivers forming perfect spirals. The mystery is so real that GPS devices often fail near the center, leaving many lost in the middle of nowhere. It is a territory that does not want to be mapped. Nature holds secrets that technology does not know. The Dagu Glacier. Imagine a place that remained hidden from the entire world until the year 1992. It seems like a lie, but the Dagu Glacier was only found when satellites high in the sky saw what our eyes down here missed. The ice wasn't supposed to be there. Located at a height ranging from 3,800 to 5,000 meters, it is considered one of the youngest glaciers on the planet. It is a world of crystal where the ice shines so brightly it seems to have its own light. Those who step there feel they have entered a world of imagination, where the cold is not just temperature, but a living presence that embraces you. Nature still knows how to play tricks. It is incredible to think that something so giant remained a secret for so long, proving that our map of the world still has blank spots, waiting for someone brave. Young ice guard secrets of a very ancient past. The sacred zone of Litang. There is a place in China where mountains pierce the clouds and reach over 5,000 meters in height. In Litang, the air is so thin you can hear your own heart beating loudly in your chest. The ancients say these mountains are the home of spirits, and those who walk around them the right way can cleanse all the bad things from their minds. But the mystery goes beyond faith. Many swear they have seen strange lights running across the peaks and figures that appear and vanish in the white mist. Cameras and cell phones often die out of nowhere, as if the mountain does not want its picture taken by strangers. Without signs, the path is found only by piled stones and colorful flags fluttering in the wind. It is a land that challenges our logic and makes technology seem like a broken toy before the power of the invisible. The mountain chooses who can see its true face. The ghost city of Zhangjiajie. Imagine walking along a sidewalk and suddenly realizing you are over 90 meters high, literally hanging in the sky. Zhangjiajie is no ordinary city. It is a series of ancient stone structures that defy gravity on Chinese cliffs. Stone stairs lead you to tiny rooms right on the edge of the abyss, many with no protection at all. It is as if those who lived there were constantly gambling with luck. Danger lurks on every step. Giant rocks display strange marks, resembling letters from a lost alphabet. But to this day, no one has been able to read what they say. When the fog arrives, you cannot see even 2 meters in front of you. The city simply vanishes into the clouds. There are tunnels that cut through the mountain for hundreds of meters and end in absolute void without explanation. The most bizarre part? They never found a single spoon or plate there. It seems people passed through, but never truly inhabited the place. The mystery is etched into the stones. During the day, the rocks change color, from silvery gray to dark purple, creating a spectacle that seems like pure magic. Living on the edge requires inexplicable courage. The secret valley of Zong. There is a place hidden in the highest mountains of China that lives submerged in a mist that never leaves. The secret valley of Zonggu is an explosion of wildlife, with rare birds and butterflies that seem to have come out of a fantasy movie. Nature is the boss here. Residents say the valley is sacred and that only those with a clean heart can reach its depths. There is a famous story of a girl who disappeared for 3 whole days in this dense forest. When everyone feared the worst, she appeared on the 4th day. Calm, saying that a woman with white hair brought her back across a bridge made of mist. No one ever saw this bridge, but they found the little girl's footprints marked on the wet stone. The invisible becomes real for some. They say the valley protects those who have a true connection with the earth. It is a hidden world that refuses to be fully discovered by us. Such hurried and noisy human beings, there are paths that only faith can see. The mystic valley of Shimen. If you whisper a secret in the Shimen Valley, be prepared to hear the answer come from nowhere. The echo there is not normal. It seems someone is playing at repeating what you say several times. Nature likes to watch us. There are gigantic rocks over 9 meters high that have been balanced on top of each other for thousands of years. No one knows how they got there, since no human being would have the strength to lift such weight without modern machines. The mystery weighs tons. These stones change color as the air gets damper, going from gray to purple and even a soft blue, as if they had feelings of their own. Those who try to record everything in photos often get frustrated as the images come out blurred or with lights that no one saw at the time. Many visitors swear they felt someone walking right behind them. But upon looking back, they only find the void. Some rocks are shaped like old faces and dragons that seem to guard those who pass. In total silence, time seems to have decided to take a nap and stop running. Sound carries memories that the wind insists on repeating. The stone forest of Luolong. Imagine an army of giants turned to rock, standing in perfect rows in the middle of China. In the Luolong forest, stone pillars over 18 meters high welcome those brave enough to enter. Some stones look like locked gates inviting you in, but the cracks are so tight that no one can pass. It is a place where technology is totally lost. Compasses spin non-stop, and the global positioning system stops working as soon as you reach the heart of the forest. What is most frightening are the shapes of the rocks. Some look like screaming faces or outstretched arms, as if people had been frozen in time during a moment of agony. The oldest residents believe that a very powerful ritual took place there in the past that sealed the space forever. Standing inside, the air gets heavy, and you feel you have crossed an invisible line into another dimension where the laws of our world are no longer worth anything. Reality and dream blend together. Where the compass fails, the soul must find the way. The misty ridge of Kangding. Imagine a mountain that spends the whole day hidden under a sheet of white smoke. In Kangding, the mystery is as thick as the air you breathe. The place is famous for a hair-raising phenomenon, the so-called mountain halo. If you stand at the top, your own shadow can appear projected in the fog, surrounded by a circle of bright light. Science tries to explain, but the heart beats differently. Along the trails used by ancient travelers, you still find stone huts falling to pieces and towers that watch over nothingness. When friends went up to look for the boy, they didn't find a hair on his head, only a soft yellow light that floated exactly where he used to pray. The sacred leaves, no physical traces. It is as if the mountain itself had decided to keep the monk for her. The light that guides the soul remains alive at the top. The Chingwa Valley. There is a place so isolated, it makes you forget the rest of the world exists. The Chingwa Valley is a labyrinth of rocks in the shape of the letter B that makes your voice bounce 3 times in the air. The echo is frighteningly perfect. On days of thick fog, you can't see even 60 centimeters in front of you. It's like walking inside a milk balloon. Life there is stubborn. Giant trees sprout from pure stone walls without any soil, looking like claws of prehistoric monsters. When the moon rises, the ground starts to glow with a faint green coming from the moss, turning everything into a fantasy movie set. Silence is impossible. As the wind whistles in the crevices of the rocks, as if someone were whispering in your ear, there your cell phone is just a useless piece of plastic with no signal for anything. Legend says that whoever sleeps there alone always has the same dream. An immense stone gate emerging from the mist and inviting them to enter a kingdom that time erased. The unknown always calls us near. Where the signal ends, the true journey begins. The Daotang River Pass. Imagine a place where the water is so pure, it looks like a floating mirror. At the Daotang River Pass, the bottom of the river is totally visible under a current that runs with impressive force. These pillars form natural portals that make any visitor feel tiny before the immensity of the world. The geology here is a living mystery. There is an ancient belief that this path holds an overwhelming spiritual energy. They say that those who have the courage to cross these dangerous canyons receive luck that no amount of money can buy. It is the kind of place that demands respect and silence. Crossing this border changes any man's destiny. At the top of the rocks, the wind blows secrets that only the brave can understand. It is a test of endurance for the body and the mind. Courage in the face of the abyss reveals the human spirit. The Echo Cave of Baima Ridge. Entering the Baima Ridge Cave is like diving into a dream where the laws of physics decided to take a vacation. The sound inside behaves in a terrifying way. If you snap your fingers, the noise echoes for almost 10 seconds, as if the stones were talking to you in the dark. The acoustics defy all modern logic. But the strangest thing is a spiral area where the sound dies completely. It is a silence so heavy that you can hear the blood running in your veins. The absolute silence becomes uncomfortable to the ears. On the walls, immense rocks have shapes of human faces that seem to breathe when the dim light touches the stone. The ceiling is so high, it disappears into the deep darkness, and the echoes from up there take almost 2 seconds to descend, like whispers coming from another world. Without electric light or any technology, all that's left is the cold air and the constant feeling that something is watching your every move. It is a sanctuary of darkness and mystery. The silence of the stones hides voices from forgotten eras. The Luke Snow Basin. Imagine an ice desert where the rules of the common world simply do not work. In the Luke Basin, snow falls from the sky even when the sun is shining bright and the day seems clear. It is a visual shock that makes anyone doubt their own eyes. We are at more than 4,000 meters high, where the air is so thin the body suffers. Dizziness comes fast, and the heart beats like a drum trying to find oxygen. The silence there is absolute. You don't hear a bird or even the hum of an insect. Nature commands, and we only obey. When the light passes through the mist, the ground shines as if covered by millions of pieces of broken glass. At certain moments, the white becomes so dense that you can't see even a meter in front of you. Whoever visits this place swears that time melts, turning 2 hours into a whole day of walking. It is a cold reminder that near the wild force of the earth, we are just small visitors passing through. The cold shapes the character of man. The sovereignty of the extreme climate silences any human attempt at control over destiny. The Shangri-La Gorges. There are abysses in China that seem to have no end, where the ground vanishes into cracks more than 2,000 meters deep. In the Shangri-La Gorges, The earth opens up in a way that gives you vertigo just looking down. The terrain changes so fast that every step seems to take you to a different planet. Real danger demands constant attention. The fog is treacherous and can swallow a group of people in seconds, leaving everyone isolated in the void. When the wind passes through the rocks, the sound seems like a sacred song coming from very far away. It's hair-raising. The strangest thing is seeing rainbows appearing out of nowhere, even without a drop of rain in the sky. There are parts of this canyon that have never seen the light of the sun, plunged into an eternal darkness for thousands of years. Technology often fails there, with compasses and cell phones going crazy as if an invisible force were blocking the signal. It is a place where time seems to bend and the reality we know ceases to exist. The unknown lives at the bottom of the valley. The magnitude of the terrestrial depths reveals how much we still ignore about the forces of our world. The sacred peak of Pumi. Imagine a place where the clouds are not just vapor, but the breath of those who have already departed. At the top of the Pumi Ridge, the local people believe that their ancestors still walk invisible, taking care of every step of the living. Respect for the elders is sacred. Early in the morning, when the sun decides to appear, the light passes through the mist, forming rays that look like giant hands descending from the sky. For those observing, it is like receiving a hug coming straight from the infinite. There are immense stones, isolated on the highest peaks, which are called pillars of the sky. The ancients say that only those who have a heart as clean as spring water can touch them without awakening the fury of the mountains. Purity attracts good things. The design of this ridge follows a perfect spiral, which for many symbolizes that life never ends. It just transforms. In winter, with the accumulation of white snow, the mountain takes the body of a giant sleeping dragon, protecting the valley against all evil. Residents tell that dreaming of this place is a clear sign that you are being guided by greater forces. It is common to feel a strange tingling in your hands when getting close to the rocks, an energy that calms the noisiest thought. Every breeze that blows through here seems to tell a 1,000-year-old gossip that has not yet been fully revealed. The connection with our roots keeps us firm in the face of any storm. 32. Hoshil. Imagine a place high in the Qinghai Mountains where the earth itself seems to expel anyone who tries to live there. Hoshil is one of the wildest pieces of our planet, situated at an average height of 4,267 meters. There, the cold is so brutal that the thermometer marks 40 degrees Celsius below zero with frightening ease. Nature does not forgive the unprepared. The wind blows with such force It can carry a heavy tent as if it were a sheet of paper. The landscape mixes frozen deserts, salt lakes, and glaciers that never melt. The strangest thing is that a rare type of antelope travels more than 320,000 meters just to have its young in this hostile environment. Not even the world's greatest scientists can explain the reason for this risky choice. Animal instinct surpasses our logic. Since there is very little oxygen, the brain starts to play tricks, and many people swear they have seen things that don't exist, as if entering another world. Electronic devices and radios stop working out of nowhere, making any rescue almost impossible. Many people have disappeared there without leaving a trace, giving the place the reputation of being the Bermuda Triangle of the Highlands. It is a living museum where nature shows who is truly in charge. Survival requires total respect for the laws of the land. The jagged ridge of Ganzi. Imagine you are walking and suddenly you come across 3 giant stone spears pointed at the sky. It is a vision that makes anyone feel very small. These limestone mountains are so straight and sharp that the local people call them the weapons of the gods. The rock walls rise in such a vertical way that it looks like someone cut the earth with a giant knife. The force of nature is simply overwhelming. On very cold mornings, the mist involves the peaks and creates a crazy visual trick where the mountains seem to be floating in the air. It is the famous floating mountain effect that leaves any visitor with their jaw dropped. The scenery looks like something out of a movie. As the day passes, the stones change color from shiny silver to a very dark purple, as if the mountain were breathing along with the hours. When the wind blows strong between the crevices, the sound that comes from there seems like a horn echoing from the bottom of the earth. The noise even makes the arms tingle. Some of these peaks exceed 4,000 meters in height, where the air gets thin and the wind is so raw it can knock down an adult who is not well supported. There is a part of the rock that, right at the time the sun sets, shines so much they nicknamed it the Eye of the Sacred Peak. This glow lasts only a few minutes before vanishing into the darkness. Those who pass through here swear they are not just seeing stones, but feeling a silent energy that seems to watch every step taken. Respect for the mountain ensures a safe return home. These Chinese wonders truly push the limits of what we know about our planet. Which of these locations felt the most surreal to you? Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and keep watching for more epic journeys.